Hey guys, welcome back. I actually got permission from a particular client of mine to share this story. So I'm not sharing out of school here. She has given me full permission so that it might hopefully help someone else suffering. A few years ago, when I first started coaching, this beautiful client who I adore came to me with a very specific issue to solve. And she was very clear and very concise. Here's my problem, and I want help solving it. And she even had some ideas of maybe how she would solve this problem. And it was health related. So she had all the extra stories that we all tend to have, which is this is urgent and important and high stakes, and this must be resolved because that's how minds tend to talk. And so we had a few sessions together, and I kept kind of nudging her to look in a different direction so that she could see that her mind was really pretending to be the source of doing, the source of action, the source of aliveness, instead of seeing that thought is not the truth. Thought is not objective reality. And thought is not hers. Thought is not mine. Thought is not personal. So we met for a few times, and each time she would show up. Okay, the problem's still here. It hasn't been resolved. What do I do next? And after a few sessions, as anticipated, she left. She quit coaching and she said that she was going to go find something better. And I wished her the very best. And I went on with, my coaching. And about 6 months later, this beautiful young woman, again, who I adore, came back and she said, okay, I've tried everything. I've tried every program, every coach, every psychotherapy. I've tried it all. None of it works. So I'm ready to start opening to something new. I'm ready. And sure enough, she was ready. She was ready to start seeing how compelling the mind is with its judgments and its preferences and its this is high stakes stories and this is important stories. And they feel so real. But what we've talked about here before is that feels like and seems like they don't equal reality. They equal a very real experience. I'm not denying the experience that something feels real and something seems real. And I'm definitely not denying the very real experience of something feels important or something seems important. But if there's something in your life, a pattern that is not changing, a pattern that is repeating and repeating and repeating and not budging, there's a very strong chance that there's a whole bunch of beliefs still being believed innocently. You're not choosing these. You don't even know. They just sort of run underneath the surface, subconsciously, unconsciously. This is not about judgment. This is not about your fault or anybody's fault. Eventually, those conditioned beliefs hurt just enough that we're ready. And we kind of throw our hands up and say, okay, I'm ready to see something new beyond the judgments of a conditioned mind. So if your mind has a really strong preference, which I'm sure it does, all minds have preferences. We're not trying to get rid of preferences or wants. But the noticing, just the noticing, oh, that's what it feels like to believe the story, this is important. Feel it. Not go into the story of it and get into the mind and try to resolve it and find answers. Just, oh, this is what it feels like to believe my mind's story that this is important. And this is what it feels like to buy into all the evidence, or this is what it feels like to believe that something is awful and horrible and high stakes and urgent. No problem. No problem having any of those thoughts or beliefs. But just notice what it feels like to believe them. to identify with them instead of seeing them as thoughts and beliefs that aren't personal, that don't belong to you, that are just here. There's a tremendous amount of freedom, incredible freedom, when we can see that the truth, that space of home that we know is our birthright, it's light, it's free. Some people just say it feels good, but it feels good at the level of truth, not at the level of condition. Not it feels good if this thing works out. It feels good if my health returns. No, truth. Truth is unconditional. It just is. And it's amazing what can begin to unfold in this world of form as we identify more with truth and a little bit less with all those conditioned thoughts and beliefs. And again, none of this is a judgment or a should or a, oh no, you got this wrong. Just, hey, let's hold each other's hands because we're all here to walk each other home. And one of the best things we can do is help shine a light where maybe an assumption or a belief, a thought is being taken as truth, reality. Let's all do this together. It's pretty cool what opens up. Thanks, guys.